Hey, hey! Thank you for coming by Tori Magoo 44. It is August. It is not August. It feels like August. It's 100 degrees here. It is hot. That's why I look like this. It's hot here. Anyway, it's September 26th. It's autumn. Can you believe that? I know it's different things in different parts of the country, but right here, it is 100. It's over 100 degrees in Burbank, California. It is hot. And some other things are going on around the United States and the world. And many of the media have been calling me about it. It's a very key thing. First of all, I want to thank John Travolta for telling the truth about his son. At least telling the world that he did have autism. I know it was hard for you. I don't know. I have no idea what all you've been through with this. I can only tell you what I went through with it, with having a medical condition. And I don't know if it affected him that way or not. I don't. But I can tell you all who are wondering, what happened? I've spoken about my situation. I have epilepsy, and I've spoken about it a lot in a lot of my videos. But I am going to go over it a little bit more here, because I think it's really important that people understand, when you're in the Church of Scientology and you have a chronic illness, when I was in for 30 years, I fought these people about epilepsy, right? And medicine. When I got in after 2 years, I was in the C organization. They routed me out. They sent me to the MLO, which I've told you guys about, but some people may not know it. The MLO is the Medical Liaison Officer. This guy gave me a program all written out. You need to get off your medicine. We're going to handle this with vitamins and Dianetics, right? And I really believed him. I did. Why would I not? it must work. Granted, all the stuff you guys know, remember, we didn't know. It wasn't out. It wasn't on the internet. I don't even think it was out at all. If it was out a little bit, but it was not out on the internet. The internet wasn't around in 1969. And I think it was 71 when they ordered me off of my medicine. And as I've told you guys, I started having serious grand mal seizures. I had a grand mal seizure in the bathtub. I knocked out my front teeth. It was a nightmare. And my mom, yes, saved my life. But why? I ended up fighting them. I did get back on my medicine, not because they allowed me to, but because my mother said, either your doctor calls today and you're back on your medicine today, or I am going to come out there, and believe me, L. Ron Hubbard will never forget your mom. And I knew my mom, and I knew she was dead serious on this, right? I knew her. So I did go down and see Dr. Dank, who was L. Ron Hubbard's doctor. He, behind closed doors, put me back on my medicine, and that was it, right? Until I finished OT3. And then I thought, well, it must be done. I must be rid of the cause of epilepsy, and again tried to get off my medicine. Ended up in Morton Plant Hospital, not because of Scientology. One of my friends took me over there and saved my life again, right? And I was in what's called status epilepticus, had seizure after seizure after seizure. They put me on a ton of medicine, and I ended up still fighting them year after year after year. Now, why is that? Well, in the original book Hubbard wrote, Science of Survival, in the back of it, it has a thing called the Chart of Human Evaluation. If you can find an old book, in it, he has various different columns for different things. What you eat, what it's called the tone scale, right? Like you're either in enthusiasm, or you're in grief, you're sad, or you're angry, or one of the worst tone levels of all, the worst tone level of all, he said, is called 1.1. Covert hostility, which is where someone's got a smile on their face, but they're really going to stab you in the back. Sorry, this is somebody calling me, but I'm not going to answer it. It's probably, who knows. Anyway, stop. Shh. Shut up. Okay, so he said in that original Science of Survival, all people who are gay, or all people who have chronic illness, are 1.1. Now, to you listening to it, you might not think that's that bad. But think of how your images of like a leper, and magnify it by about 100 times. That's about how Scientology thinks of people with chronic illness. It's horrible. I mean, honestly and truthfully, and I'm a grown adult, there were 5 people, and I used to say this when I was in, there are only 5 people, and I knew thousands of people, at least certainly hundreds of people I knew. There were only 5 people that I could tell I had epilepsy and feel comfortable about it. Most people, just the look alone was like, ugh. You know, they just give me this horrible, I mean, I can't even explain it. But I think, honestly, I hope and pray that this helps John start looking more and more and more. There's a lot on the internet on what's really going down with the Church of Scientology by a lot of different people. I can speak to you comfortably about the medical abuse because I lived through it, okay? I nearly died with it twice, okay? It's horrible. And nobody ever should be told by people that are not medical experts to get off their medicine that they need. Ever. Okay? I don't care if it's a religion. I don't care if it's a policy. You should listen to your doctors. If you're out there and somebody's trying to get you off your medicine and say the tech you should be able to handle it. Maybe it's just that you're not responsible enough, which they told me. Your ethics are out, which they told me. You're connected to an SP, which was my mother. You know, we, of course, decided because she was saying Scientology's not going to work, right? So that's suppressive in their eyes. Was it suppressive? No. She was right on the money. It didn't work. She was right. But, you know, it took me a long time to get it. It really did. I had to find out for myself, and I did find out for myself. And Johnny, I hope you keep looking. Read, look, listen, make up your own mind. But I know you're a courageous guy. Your wife is a spokesperson for CCHR, which is the Citizens Commission on Human Rights. For anybody that doesn't know, it's under the umbrella of the Church of Scientology, and those people are totally 100% against psychiatry and psychology. And generally, those folks are the guys that help people with autism. Okay? So something needs to change here, right? Because otherwise, people aren't getting help. Your son is a perfect example of that, all right? And I'm very sorry that he died, and I'm very sorry for your family. And no, I'm not using it to promote my cause. Maybe I am. I know 8 people who took their own lives, young people who took their own lives because they didn't get the help they needed. I know tons of people who died because of Scientology's medical abuse. Yes, I think you need to step up to the plate and tell the whole story. Let it out. Tell the whole story. And for any of the media that wants to interview me, I'd be happy to talk to you. And my number's on the net. Have a wonderful day. To everybody else, keep speaking out. I thank you greatly. Bye-bye.